Good evening, everyone. My name is Marty Seifert. I'm a candidate for governor, and if you know a little bit about someone's background, you know a little bit about the values that they're bringing to the office that they see. I'm a farm kid from southern Minnesota. My dad had an 8th grade education. My mom was a homemaker. They taught me some simple valuable lessons in life. You don't spend more money than you have coming in. If you borrow money, you must pay it back at some point. Life is precious at every single stage. And that in any given market, when you have more competition, prices go down and quality of service goes up. I hope we all agree with those values. And I'm a candidate who was born, raised, and educated in Minnesota, and I love this state too much for it to become another cold, small California. And that is what has happened in places like Michigan and New York and other states that believe they can tax, spend, and borrow and regulate their way into prosperity. That does not work, ladies and gentlemen, and it's been proven in other places. I'd like you to take a look. If you look around your chairs, there's some over there. We unveiled this afternoon a comprehensive budget proposal to balance the budget. Without federal stimulus money, without tax increases, without fee increases, without shifts in gimmicks, and without borrowing. We can balance the budget by downsizing, right-sizing, and economizing budgets, specifically in state government. It is a sweeping proposal. It abolishes cabinet departments. It right-sizes and downsizes agencies. It eliminates programs. It implements welfare reform aggressively. And I think if we are going to be leaders as Republicans, we need to start doing what we've talked about for the last 20 years, which is to cut government. I had a delegate the other day that said, we need to do more with less when it comes to government. I would beg to differ. We need to do less with less. Government is too big, it is too powerful. And I want to thank you all for being here tonight. God bless you, and God bless the great state of Minnesota. Thank you.
My name is Tom Emmer. Thank you all for coming. I need to know, where's Jack? Oh, good. All right. Well, I need to know that I have at least one fan in the room. That's my wife, Jack. So, folks, I'm really looking forward to this discussion tonight. I mean, we know what the issue is. The issue is that government has just grown to be too large. It's out of balance. It's suffocating the private economy in this state. It's time for people to know how to negotiate outcomes based on our values of smaller government. Let's forget limited. We're way past that. Smaller government and our principles of individual liberty and economic freedom. I'm looking forward to having a discussion about what are the priorities that we expect from government. How do we redesign a smaller government to meet those priorities? How do we make Minnesota once again the place of investment and opportunity that it has made its history? It's time for our solutions to lead Minnesota to a better future for our kids. And what I'm most excited about here today is this. We get to sell ourselves to you. We get to introduce ourselves to you. You get to know us a little bit better. You get to know what our vision is for the future of the state of Minnesota. It's time that we sell that vision to you so that you can decide which one of us, or maybe there are some others out there that you think can do the job of governor of the state of Minnesota to lead us to the future that we expect for our kids. I'm looking forward to the discussion, and I hope it's a lively one, and it's about substantive issues when it comes to the budget and how we will redesign government. Thank you very much for having me.
Judicial elections. Mr. Emmer, there is a proposal currently circulating to amend the state constitution to eliminate competitive elections for judges, instead requiring judges to stand for retention elections through which voters will either retain or unseat a judge. Vacancies will be filled by another gubernatorial appointment. Would you support such an amendment? Why or why not?
No, I would not. And I know that people say, we'll let the people vote on the amendment. That's fine. But if we keep having these constitutional amendments, if you elect us to represent you, then should we have the courage to say, yes, and this is why, or no, and this is not why? I mean, I have, in all fairness, been the author of initiative and referendum as well, but that's a different type of constitutional amendment. It's not like the 3/8 legacy amendment. It's not like the MVest amendment. It certainly isn't like this proposed amendment. Folks, what this proposes in essence is what I would call something akin to a star chamber. You can't have the outcome that you want unless you have the right to vote for your judges. And on that note, I'd also suggest that there should be some consideration as to how the system's being handled now. We've had governors appointing judges the vacancies that when the seat is vacated before the end of the 6-year term. There should be a message sent that you will fill out your 6-year term and allow the public to vote on your replacement as opposed to having the governor appoint at a district court level. And then, obviously, when it comes to the appellate courts and the Supreme Courts, you really have to start vetting and making sure that we continue to appoint folks that will apply the letter of the Constitution. So,
Thank you.
yeah!
Mr. Seifert, additional elections.
Sure. I am opposed to the bill to take away your ability to vote for judges, and we will probably be voting on that this year. We have to have the right to elect these folks. Our founders were very smart when they put it into our ability to be able to elect people. The other reform that I would say that we have, instead of taking away your ability to elect people, is to start to narrowly tailor it down to the places where they're chambered. Now, I live in Marshall. I am voting for judges who are chambered in St. James, 2 hours from where I live. I'm voting for judges who are from Mankato, from Redwood Falls. Part of the idea of the judiciary is that they will be neutral arbiters of the disputes that are before the people in the community. Why is someone from Marshall voting for someone who is chambered an hour and 45 minutes from where he lives and has no idea whether that person merits their vote or not? So I think we need to change it back to the situation where we elect the judges in the counties that they are chambered in. You don't have people from 2 hours away electing the judges. That will help with a more informed electorate. It'll get back to the situation where we were supposed to be. And I will appoint judges to fill out the terms. I know we had the Sibley County debate, Tom said, I'm not sure I want to appoint judges to district court vacancies or not. I will. I feel it's incumbent upon the governor to fulfill their duties and make sure that they appoint the judiciary at the district court level.
Thank you. The next question, public financing of sports teams. We'll ask about, I'd like you to ask what your historical position is at Twin Stadium, explain that, and then what your position would be on any Vikings lobbying for the stadium. Mr. Emmer?
I've never supported taxpayer funds to go to a stadium. By the way, that included the University of Minnesota's stadium, and it's not because I'm not a Gopher fan. I'm a huge Gopher fan. But you know what? There are other needs in this state, and it's interesting when people talk about, well, the Vikings might leave. Well, think about all the other businesses that are leaving, folks. Think about the fact that we have businesses that will not expand here. You must take care of your business environment to make it an attractive environment for all business, not just the Minnesota Vikings. Now, that being said, there are things that we can do for all businesses to make sure that Minnesota is the home for them. One of them, though, is not taking taxpayer dollars and putting it into a stadium. Now, my colleague, we actually put up a website that I hope you'll go look at. It's called emmertruth.com, because I don't want to get into this stuff too much. We got to sell ourselves and what we believe in. But somebody sent out a piece that suggested or implied for folks that Tom Emmer must support taxpayer funds for a stadium because he didn't vote for the referendum that would have given Hennepin County voters the right to vote on a taxpayer-funded stadium. Well, here's the reality, folks. The question really is, so do you believe that a taxpayer-funded stadium would have been all right if it would have had a referendum piece on it? I did not. I did not believe it would have been right under any circumstance. And frankly, I thought at the time that if we didn't have the referendum on it, my colleagues and folks on the other side of the aisle would not have the courage to try and take money out of taxpayers' pocket for a sports stadium. Unfortunately, it didn't dawn on me that Republicans were not only carrying the bill, but Republicans voted for the bill. That was very unfortunate. It should not happen again.